I think we've all experienced trauma in some way, shape, or form. You can experience trauma by watching the news. It's a brutal world out there, and with the covers we have, we can be exposed to it at our will any night. But the question is have you dealt with it? Some people have dealt with it well, and it doesn't impact their self-image. They still have hope. And I've found that a common factor with people that have still been impacted by trauma is that they've maybe lost hope, or they've lost their optimism about life. A real common thing today in our culture is women who have been sexually abused or sexually assaulted or something along those lines. And I believe a vast majority of them never tell anybody about it. And they carry that around their whole life, and it impacts their self-image, it impacts their sexuality when they get married. It just impacts their view towards their daughter when they have their own children. And the reality is that you don't need to carry that around. I think our kids are probably way more aware of stuff than you think. We recently had a death in our family, and I'm having as many conversations as I can with my kids about it. Hey, how you dealing with that? How you doing? What do you miss most about that person? What do you like most about that person? What do you miss most in the future about that person? As it's okay to have these real conversations with people, and it's really, really important, right? So, look for changes in behavior. I did write a blog in more depth about what you can look for to see if your kid has been traumatized or your child has been traumatized. But why you should help them deal with it is because they're going to make conclusions about how the world works, who they are, and how they need to cope with that based upon what happens in the midst of a traumatic event. And conclusions that you make based on trauma keep you alive at the time, but they're a really terrible way to deal with the rest of life. The goal is for you to reclaim your story. All right, your story had stuff put in it, chapters put in it that you didn't want. And if you let those chapters dictate the rest of the story, you're giving control away in your life. The goal is for you to start rewriting your story and to start looking at how you want the story to end and reclaim yourself. That's what processing trauma is all about. It's getting your life back and becoming a person who has a voice again, a person that can be proactive versus reactive. That's the key to getting through this whole process.